All right, we are now joined by Washington head coach Heather Tarr and student athletes Victoria Hayward, Caitlin Inglesby, Kimberly Souza, and Kelly Seguro. We'll start with an opening comment from Coach, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
Well, we didn't quite expect that to be that much of a tough offensive game, but credit to Nebraska's pitching staff. I thought they threw a great game, and we fortunately found a way to come back and win that game. It was great to see both Brianna and Caitlin work together again today, and I can't say enough about just the clutch performance for Victoria to get on base for us to score that tying run, and then Kimberly to do what she needed to do to end the game.
All right, we'll open the floor for questions. Please raise your hand and wait for a mic to come to you, and then state your name and affiliation.
Michael Kinney, Norman Transcript. Kimberly, can you just talk about just what was your mindset going up to the plate on that last at bat, and when you were rounding the bases and you saw your team there waiting for you, just what was going through your mind?
Well, first of all, being at the World Series is a dream I've always had. And before that bat, I had a little talk. Coach Tarr talked to me, calmed me down, and just told me to get a good pitch and get up there and hit it. And that's what I did.
Kimberly Graham Hayes, ESPN. Were there things you saw in your first at-bat against Lockman that you had in mind as you were walking to the plate that last time?
Well, I just knew I needed to be aggressive and get a good pitch and hit it.
Rob White, Omaha World Herald. Kimberly, a couple of at-bats earlier in the game, you had runners on base and didn't get the hit. Was there some, you mentioned talking to Coach before the at-bat, was there some frustration level at maybe not coming through when you had a couple of opportunities earlier?
I wouldn't say frustrated, but it's a 7-inning game. We went to 8. We're going to play until the end.
Chris Brannick with the Oklahoman. Coach, you talked about clutch hitting yesterday, and then here you are with the biggest clutch hit you could get in the game. Can you just talk about that, and then with the triple and the bunt in the inning before that too?
Mm-hmm. Well, the game that we're used to playing in the conference that we come from comes from being able to pitch well, play great defense, and get that timely hitting, and so our team's somewhat used to that. I was a little bit nervous today because we didn't really look that great offensively, but like Kim said, it's, you go to the last out, and this team's become really good at going to the last out, and Victoria getting on third base there with that hit to start that inning off was huge, obviously, and then Hooch putting the bunt down and executing for Victoria to score obviously kept us alive, and then Kimberly making the adjustment to hit that ball like she did was obviously clutch.
This is for Caitlin. Caitlin, this is for the Seattle Times. Can you talk about, first of all, getting that early home run to get the team the early lead, and then coming in and then the pitch that got away that allowed the game to be tied?
Well, I knew I needed to be aggressive, and they weren't going to give me many strikes. And so when I saw that one coming, I knew it was the one I needed to capitalize on, and luckily I connected well. And coming in, pitching, I was a little hesitant, and that showed when that ball got away, and that was completely my fault. And I knew that we were going to come back, and that our defense and our hitting was going to carry us that game. So they did a great job.
Coach Tarr, Brian Rosenthal, Lincoln Journal-Star. You mentioned you didn't expect this to be as tough of an offensive game. Were Nebraska's pitchers more formidable than you thought, or was it something on your end that you didn't think you were doing well at the plate today?
Well, I just thought, I thought that we offensively would match up well with Tatum. And I thought, we took some walks and we got on base, but she really got tough when she needed to be tough, so credit to her. I was hoping that we'd come through in some of those situations. We had enough of them. But, and then, of course, when they brought Lockman in, it was a different look, and she found a way to get a couple of our righties out right away, and it was, they did a good job mixing that up. So I expect more out of our team, but credit to Nebraska for pitching tough.
Victoria, obviously earlier in the game that had some opportunities to be able to put some distance between the team, but y'all weren't able to take advantage of it. Just what do you think it says about your squad that you still found a way to be able to come up in the end to be able to win a game like this?
I think it shows a lot just of our perseverance. We obviously struggled through those innings, having bases loaded a couple of times, but we were getting those runners on base, and we knew eventually we'd get that clutch hit to score those runners.
Coach Tarr, you mentioned that your pitchers worked really well together, and it sounds like you've done that a lot this year. When you've been here in the past, you've had to rely a lot more on one arm. What's it like having two to count on this year?
Well, we have more than two, but the two that we're using primarily they obviously make you have to make decisions, and we try to make the best decision for the team. To put them in the best position to win. And I thought Brianna threw decent. She gave them 3 freebies pretty much in the first inning, and they capitalized on it, which was disappointing. But it's fun to be able to have two to work, because at this point in time in college softball, it's tough to just ride one.
Are there any more questions for our coach or student athletes?
Victoria, can you just take us through the 7th inning there with what you saw when you hit the ball at the bat, and then what your thoughts were when the squeeze was on?
Well, I hadn't been getting too many good pitches to hit earlier in the game, and so I knew that she didn't want to walk in a run for a potential for our big home run hitters to come up and win the game there. So I knew I had to capitalize on any pitch that I could square up, and then when she put on the squeeze, you always get a little giddy, get excited, just knowing that it's coming. But Hooch is a great bunter, and I knew I had 100% faith she would get it down.
Are there any further questions? All right, thank you guys.
Yes. Good thing I